Week 7 of Playmore's 4th season is finally here, and this is a huge battle as we take on the San Diego Lombres, coached by Jbob. Recently, Playmore's had a bit of a losing streak, and as we get down to the end of the season, each battle matters a little bit more than the last. How are things looking in the standings, Tyler?
Well, we just keep harping on this differential, John, and now with the standings on the screen, you can see why we've been broken records with it. There's this big group at 3-3, but we're at the top of it and still in the playoffs because of that positive differential. But all of that could change this week. This is the most pivotal match of our season. Half that group wins, half that group loses. John, if we don't handle business today, we could find ourselves on the outside looking in on that playoff picture.
And considering we're going against Roaring Moon, the best Pokemon in Playmore history, I don't think it's a stretch to say this is the most important battle in Playmore history. If we can get past Roaring Moon, we can almost guarantee playoffs for this season. But if we lose here to Roaring Moon, there's a good chance we don't make it. Tyler, how's that team matchup looking like? What's been bringing?
Well, as you can see by the team on the screen, for such a big battle, we brought a new team member. Bald the Uxie is here. If you're wondering why Ben has brought Uxie along and also why it's nicknamed MNJTV, I mean Bald, you can see the extended team builder. The link is in the description, but let's see what the opponent's bringing to this battle.
No need to wait any longer. Let's see what the opponent brought. And that is a lot of offense. Not a single defensive Pokemon, unless like Roaring Moon or Deoxyspeed is secretly defensive. We could see a support Mon. Either way, I'm expecting a slugfest, which is incredibly exciting in some respects, but equally as terrifying in others. Now, before we can get into this battle, I have to shout out the sponsor of this team, Play-More.Store. If you want to support this team, the best way to do it is to go to the store and pick something up if you see anything you like. But Tyler, it's time to get straight into this battle. This battle could mean everything for the future of Playmore.
And who better, who more appropriate to lead off such an important battle from our side than with our fans? On the other side, John, it's just the spider with the sticky webs that we expected to see.
Which is nice. You do not want to be caught off guard in this battle. It was either going to be Deoxyspeed or Galvantula, and if it was Galvantula, we go for the taunt right away, and we actually get to find out what Terra Captain they brought. This is incredible for us. It could have easily been the Teapot, which is a very scary sweeper, but instead they tried to catch us slipping with that Terra Ghost, but no sticky webs for you.
Well, and Ben this was like the dream scenario. And last week, we spent all battle talking about how, it seems like absolutely nothing that we thought was going to happen in this battle has happened. Like, nothing that we anticipated in the week leading up was there. This was a dream start, but now in such a big battle with such high stakes, we have to capitalize.
And I love that the coach is doing exactly that. Sandy Cheeks is an offensive set. Finally, things have changed. We have the Uxie. It's allowing this to be a lot more defensive. And now they have to switch. We get to fire off a big hit on something. And our coach is in the driver's seat. I don't know what he's expecting to switch in, but I love everything that's happened so far. You really couldn't have drawn it up much better.
We're anticipating between the two options, that being our fans or Sandy Cheeks, that Sandy Cheeks will probably be the one to Terra. I don't know how early or how late Ben pulls that out, but he told us the dream for this match was just to get this thing out there in a spot where he can just click buttons and do damage, which I am all about. Those are my kind of sets.
I do know that. It worries me sometimes when you say that in the commentating booth, but you know what? I understand where your heart is. It makes sense.
Thank you.
And, that's pretty amazing for us.
Click button, do damage.
Yeah,
that's lot damage.
That's really bad for the opponents. Unless I'm missing something, which I could be. I do not see the vision. You know, so often Poltegeist is going to try to set up, maybe this is a different set than what I am used to seeing. I'm just so constantly worried of Shell Smash. I don't know what the move is here. Like maybe is there like a trick set? Will-O-Wisp? Like I don't know. I mean, you click button, do things, right? Tyler strategy?
Why do move or thing that do not damage when you can do move that do damage?
That is what a 7-year-old me said playing Pokemon Stadium. I understand you, adult man, watching competitive Pokemon.
Why say lot word when few word do trick?
Why dance with swords when Hyper Beam? Why would they bring in Galvantula? I assume this is to get the sticky webs up.
This is just a battle of questions?
No, I mean, it was to get sticky webs up, but oh, they are going for the immediate win. Okay, that's what this is. They lost. Oh my God, that did so much damage, but they lost.
And it's been told us the odds are not usually in our favor, but 70% chance for that boost is beautiful.
This is really, really interesting. Sticky webs only go up if they really want to end this battle right away. But because we have the ability to Terra, I mean, they can't bring in Roaring Moon and then set up on us.
And that's the thing. That is, if that's the scenario that you're laying out, the plan is get sticky webs up and win. That's the win con, is Roaring Moon.
Yeah.
And Terra Fairy puts that to bed real quick.
And we still have Clefable, so getting sticky webs up in general, I fully understand.
Yeah.
But I feel like there might have been a better situation trying to get this up. Now, 2 Pokemon are going to go down so early to the Cheeks. I mean, both Cheeks out on the field, 2 kills. It's a pretty great day at the beach, Tyler.
I just love that not the Cheeks on the beach as much, but I was just in my mind trying to wrap my brain around how good this thing started. And Ben, if those first 2 moves just had the perfect 1-2 combination for what that Galvantula was going to do, and has been in control since. And now is just, if you're the opponent, I don't know where your head is at right now, because like your game plan is out the window. It's kind of what we talked about before this battle started, of how you balance your prep with your game plan. Any prep the opponent had, gone. At this point, it is just come up with some way, somehow to get out of this spot. And with what Ben has on our side, I don't know what that looks like right now.
I don't know how they contend with the Sandy Cheeks on the beach. I mean, this thing is set up. It's unstoppable. It's got a hat on and seemingly nothing else, which is a little worrying. But it's doing cool things with the hat. I didn't realize that, like, I've never seen other Pokemon do that. Look at this. Pretty cool.
I didn't know it spun back and forth. Is it like showing off? Is that,
Coach is talking about it too.
Is that like if you like spinning a basketball on your finger? John, can you do that? You're a hooper. I can't. I can't do it.
Oh, look at our coach go! Wow.
Landon, can you edit a basketball onto my hand?
How would that even work? I don't.
All right. Well, hey, you. Let's. You know, this is a really, really big moment. Roaring Moon is the best Pokemon in Playmore history by a considerable margin. For them. They got up sticky webs. They are trying to do the thing now. Now, they showed booster energy, so it's not like they can beat Focus Sash. They can kill the Cheeks, which is fine. They can absolutely go after the Cheeks immediately. But, I mean, I just... Oh! Okay. Yeah, I for some reason, my brain forgot. See, the spinning hat made me not think it was fairy type. I thought that was just for fun. You know, the hat.
It's now a spinny type.
Yeah. But Tyler, I really do not understand exactly what our opponent is doing here, or like what their long-term play is here, right? They bring in Roaring Moon. It's a very powerful Pokemon, but now they've used up their booster energy right away. You know, they were able to get a kill. They were able to stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
But that booster energy could have been essential to them sweeping and winning the battle. I don't think there's a world where they can take out Blossom. We're going to force them to switch. And I don't know what on their team can take on Blossom at this point. This is a really exciting matchup for our #1 pick, which has not had a lot of great matchups this season.
Well, and as I look at the standings coming into this battle, we mentioned our record at 3-3 currently in the playoff picture. Our opponent coming in at 2-4. They have to win out basically to make the playoffs, and so I think that everything gets sped up a little bit. There's a little bit more urgency to everything. Whereas you look at us last battle, for example, we could take our time, just try to whittle away as much as we could to save the differential. That is not an option, not just for us as we talked about in this battle, but for our opponent especially needing a win just to stay alive, to even have a chance at the playoffs, just moves everything up a little bit to where, like you said, maybe it is better in the long term to have saved that booster energy. I think mentally things are just moving too fast to where you're thinking, I've just got to find a way to salvage this quick. That puts a dent in that.
And I think really just thinking about the situation a little bit more, I think the reality is our coach, as he's done all season, just killed it with the prep. I don't think our opponent had anything, and I mean anything, to deal with the Sandy Cheeks set we brought. We have brought so many supporting sets, but now that we have Uxie on the team, we can really unleash that beast on the squad. It really could take hits from any of their specially offensive Pokemon. It seems like most of the Pokemon they brought were specially defensive, so they actually had to sacrifice their long-term plans to get rid of the Cheeks, which allows us to bring in Blossom for a free kill. It just, a matchup nightmare, and I think our coach just went crazy with the prep, honestly. I think that might just be what it's coming down to, Tyler.
Well, I know he has to be licking his chops right now because we have not, every matchup seemingly, the note that we've gotten is, it's another bad matchup for Blossom. Yeah. Here we are. We're just going to throw it out here and see what it can do. This was the first real tailor-made matchup we have had for this Pokemon that we had such high hopes for coming into the season. And it's not like it's had a bad season, but now we're getting to see it fully unleashed.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes this just happens. Like, you know, if I look at the opponent's team, I mean, they definitely have Pokemon that can deal with Sandy Cheeks. You know, maybe it's not a ton of them, but it's, you know, it's not like it was a Roaring Moon or nothing, and it just turned out not to be the matchup they expected, you know? That Pokemon so often was not the offensive monster. So it's really cool in this first battle being able to see what this team could look like with that in a more offensive role and how it opens up, you know, the rest of the team. Hey, look at that. That's fun. But having these three really scary offensive Pokemon, you know, this three-headed monster of, you know, Blossom, Darkrai, and then the Cheeks. I love that going through the end of the season, hopefully into the playoffs. And Tyler, the fact that I can talk about all of that as Roaring Moon goes down unceremoniously is incredible. That the scariest Pokemon we've ever used, a Pokemon that carried us to glory. It's a footnote in hopefully this huge turnaround.
And not just to go down, but to go down on a crit. I almost feel like we've used too much of our luck in one battle. We had the Charge Beam boost, we've had a crit. I'm getting a little worried. Like, I'd like to save a little bit of it, but if there was going to be a battle to use it all up in, it was this one.
Yeah, and I really like what what our coach is doing here. You know, something.
No, let's make it clear. He is the coach.
Well, he is the coach. He's my coach. He's our coach. He is everyone's coach. But one of the reasons I really wanted to work with Ben is we are really similar players in a lot of ways. I think our coach is a bit better than I ever was, but in a lot of instances, you just got to do whatever you can to win. I never cared about differential, at least in terms of like getting a really big win. Because at the end of the day, I'd rather have a win and guarantee it than, you know, play around, try to get the 5-0, and then maybe I somehow lose because I was too overzealous. We let the dog go down, we bring in Blackbeard, and there should not be a world where this thing could go down. Obviously, they went for Expanding Force. We would have been fine, but there was always a chance that they went for that and then outspeed the next turn. But somehow we don't kill Deoxys Speed with a Dark Pulse?
Miss. No, stay in, Ben. I'm summoning it. I'm summoning the miss.
We should still be fine. We do have Uxie.
Trust it, Ben.
No.
Stay in and trust it.
No, bring in the new member. Bring in the new member.
Nobody wants to see that MNJ TV bald. Nobody wants to see them. Stay in. Miss it.
Is Mikey the person who ratted you out for your bets?
For what? I don't. What do you? I didn't. God, how did you even see what I was? How did you even see that I? What are we? Miss. Come on, John. Miss.
No.
Miss.
I just talked about how
miss.
Oh,
Miss.
boy.
Miss.
Oh,
Miss. Ben's chanting it. Miss.
Oh.
Miss. Ben knows. Miss.
Whoa!
How does it feel?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a statement win. This was the most important battle in Playmore history. We've had playoff games before. I understand. I do not think there was ever anything more important than this battle against Roaring Moon. This would have been our second season that started off hot with an unfortunate slide that could have knocked us out of the playoffs. We're not guaranteed playoffs at this point, or at least not to my knowledge, but we may be very close to guaranteed playoffs. We only have one more game left in the regular season, and then hopefully a date with destiny in the playoffs. Get ready for that next week. Prepare yourself for playoffs. Tyler, I think this is a new team. This is a team with one goal, and I'm excited to see how this goes.
This is the greatest day in Playmore history. For now.